So James, 0-0 draw with Swansea, frustrating afternoon for the Reds at Anfield on Saturday?
It certainly was, yeah. Desperately disappointing afternoon all round. Liverpool were poor really from start to finish. There's the home form is a concern, and they've been quite slack and dropped points. They shouldn't have, against the likes of Sunderland, Manchester United, and Norwich already. But against Swansea, there was no hard luck story. They didn't pass the ball well enough. The movement was poor. They never pressed and stamped their authority on the game whatsoever, really. And give Swansea great credit. They deserve all the plaudits that have come their way, and they fully deserve that standing ovation they got from the home fans after the final whistle, because they, for long periods, they were the better side in that game. Brendan Rodgers' team, had some great chances to inflict what would have been a very embarrassing defeat on Liverpool.
And you spoke to Daniel Agger after the game. What did he have to say about it?
He was bluntly honest. I think it'd probably be the best assessment of Daniel Agger's words. He accused Liverpool of playing like headless chickens and said that if they continue to play in that manner, he said we've got no chance of finishing in the top four. And it was good to hear actually, because I think sometimes obviously the fans all went away hurting after Saturday, and I think it was probably good for them to know today that feeling was replicated in the dressing room, because you could see that Daniel Agger was hurting on the back of that, because they're desperate to be successful this season, and they know that it's unacceptable to drop 8 points at home by the start of November. They've given themselves an uphill battle, and he talked about how a big improvement is needed and fast.
The big couple of weeks coming up at the end of the month, how do you see Liverpool managing that?
It's going to be a crucial period. I mean, in the space of 9 days, we've got 2 trips to Stamford Bridge, first of all in the league, and then in the Carling Cup, and those 2 games are sandwiched by the home game of leaders Manchester City. So it's a massive period in the context of Liverpool's season. They need to raise their game, and there's no doubt about it. I mean, the frustrating thing probably for Kenny Dalglish is that he talked about how there's work to be done on the training ground after Saturday, and unfortunately that's going to have to wait till a week Wednesday now due to the international break. So he's not going to have a great deal of time to work with his entire squad, but what he'll do what he can obviously at Melwood over the next 8 or 9 days, and then everything will be geared towards that trip to Stamford Bridge, because with Arsenal and Spurs in great form, Newcastle, everyone's expecting them to drop away, but it hasn't happened yet. That battle for the top 4 is really hotting up, and Liverpool, they've put pressure on themselves by dropping points against the likes of Norwich and Swansea, and now they need to really show their mettle in those games against Chelsea and City.
So do you think it could be a case of not Champions League but Europa League?
I think there's still a great deal of hope and optimism that Liverpool can finish in the top 4, but there's no question they're going to have to improve their home form if that's going to happen, and they're going to have to improve their strike rate, because again on Saturday, although the general performance was poor, they still had the chances there to win that game. And you look at Manchester United, were unconvincing at home to Sunderland, yet they got the job done, and that's the difference. And Liverpool are going to have to sharpen up in that final third if they are going to get that top 4 spot, because it's tough. We've seen Chelsea got back to winning ways, as we said. Tottenham and Arsenal as well, Newcastle winning. So there was a few weeks ago Liverpool was 7 points clear of Arsenal, and people were writing them off, and now Liverpool are only ahead of Arsenal in goal difference. So it's a key period, and there's plenty for the manager to ponder during these 2 weeks without a game, and he'll be expecting obviously a big response down at Chelsea on November the 20th.
All right, thank you, James.